Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Knowles, and this is the Nerdic Gods podcast, episode 218. Joining me as always, Daniel Neveroli.
What's up, gamers? What's going on?
Hi, Daniel. How you doing?
I'm okay. Not too bad. Could be worse, I guess.
I feel like we gotta talk about J. Cole.
I mean, it's what do you want to talk about?
What's
I
going
probably
on?
have different. I probably have different opinions than other people do.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Probably.
I mean, the apology. I just can't. I can't with this guy. What's he doing?
I mean, I don't really understand.
Drops a banger diss track. Banger.
The whole album's awesome.
That was great. Yeah, the album was great. This track was great. He comes out and he apologizes 2 days later. Says he might delete it. Literally might delete it. The album's called Might Delete It Later or whatever the fuck. No, he literally might delete it. No, he's backing out of this. I just feel like he's taking it too personal a little bit. You know?
I don't know. I think there might be. I said this to my friend. I think there might be more going on behind the scenes that he's not like talking about. I also don't really fully understand why people are upset at him. It's like I understand that beefs are beefs and people like that stuff and like
we want to be entertained.
It's a big hip hop thing. People like that kind of stuff, but like I think it's fine if he doesn't want to do that. Like people think he's a lesser artist now or whatever. It's like,
I don't think you can come out, put out a 3-minute and 30-second diss track, and then back out and be like, actually, we're done here. You know, you can't be the last one to throw out something and then call it. That's not how that works. You know, that's not how any of that works. like you can't just like you completely diss this guy. No, we're good. Actually, we're actually done here. It's over. We're friends now.
That's what made the whole thing odd. Is that they were boys and were friends. They've defended each other multiple times. So the fact that somehow J. Cole is in the middle of this anyways is a little odd because the beef isn't really with J. Cole. The beef was with Drake and Kendrick. J. Cole is just, Kendrick doing the whole like no big three, it's the big me or whatever. J. Cole is just in the big three, right? That's why he's kind of in there. A lot of Kendrick's shots were towards Drake anyways.
Sure, but so he also threw him towards J. Cole.
He did throw some stuff there. I think that's mostly because he's in it. So that like I feel like J. Cole was like, all right, well, I got to say something because I'm in the mix. I feel like it was with these other two anyways. So he's probably in my head. He's like, I probably shouldn't have said anything. I should have just let these two do it. So you have to think he made that diss track in like a week.
For sure.
Like, he made it very quickly and like, okay, well, maybe he just wants to let these two duke it out.
I could understand all that if he didn't already put out a whole diss track.
Yeah.
Now you're in it. You can't back out after that, you know?
Yeah, that's true. But we'll see. Because apparently there's a lot of rumors that Drake and Kendrick already have something.
Yeah, I saw the rumors that Drake has something. Yeah.
Seems like J. Cole's not involved in that. See, that makes a lot of sense why he's just, let these two do it. Who cares?
Yeah.
And, so.
I mean, the another thing is like it's a dumb idea to back out because it's just a big thing. Everybody's talking about it, you know. It's pumping some blood into hip hop right now, you know.
Been in a weird way for years.
It is great. People are loving it, so why not just keep it going? You know, you could still be friends behind the scenes, you know, and just keep doing this.
Let's all make money.
Yeah, let's all make money here, and then you all do a fucking collab album at the end. You know,
that's what I told my friend. I was like, let me write this story for you. This was before he Kendrick or like it was just the album, right? It wasn't like he didn't like bow out or whatever. I was like, if I'm gonna write this story, he's gonna do this, do that album or whatever. He's gonna say something. Kendrick's gonna come back, say something to Drake, and then he's gonna turn to J. Cole and say, it's not the big three anymore. It's the big two. And then they're going to drop a Watch the Throne Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's been the rumors of Watch the Throne Part 2 with them two forever, for years now. And I think it's been like 8 years since Watch the Throne Part 2 was supposed to come out. And then they're going to drop that. Boom. That'd be my big story. You make so much money. Watch the Throne Part 2 with Drake and Kendrick, or J. Cole and Kendrick. Are you kidding me?
So much.
Insane.
It'd be crazy. It'd be absolutely unreal. Insane. It's a lot how I feel about UFC beefs. You guys can be friends behind the scenes. Just fake it. Just fucking fake it. you know, that's all you got to do is fool everyone. And it doesn't really matter. Like, you guys can be cool behind the scenes and just talk shit on camera. And it's fucking great. People will fall for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll find out next week. Hopefully Drake drops the next one soon.
Yeah, I don't know if Kendrick will go next or Drake. I mean, the rumor is that one of them is going to have something tomorrow.
Okay, very exciting. All three songs, by the way, have been great. Or 2 songs thus far have been great. So,
but like I said,
I'm in.
J. Cole's whole album's great.
Having more, yeah. J. Cole's whole. Well, yeah, I mean, he didn't make the whole album just for that.
No,
but,
yeah.
That's another thing why you could think it's a little fake, because this dude just had a whole album ready to go the week after.
He already had it. He just felt like he needed to.
Little suspicious there,
No, well, there has been talks about this album. I guess he had posted a song from it,
sure,
like a little while back, and like took the song off. He was like, "Oh, here's like a little sneak peek," and then he took it offline. And then he had it ready, and then this whole stuff
convenient.
Happened.
It's convenient. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Daniel. Well, it's been another busy week in the world of video games.
Yes, it has.
First up, then, Ubisoft's upcoming Star Wars Outlaws has gotten a new story trailer along with a release date of August 30th, 2024. Daniel, I think me and you were talking about this game a little bit last week. Got some news. We're getting a new trailer. Got like a 2-minute trailer now. Got some story info. And finally, release date, August 30th. Here it comes. You excited?
Oh yeah, of course. An open world Star Wars game. A lot of open world games we're getting, but hopefully it's not too big. The date, I like the date. I still kind of wish maybe it would be. I guess it depends on their catalog. Is Assassin's Creed Red coming out this year? Because like if it is, that's probably November. So I guess they're going to give it at least a month, 2 months, 2.5 months away. That's a decent amount of time.
Yeah,
I July.
I think they left just enough time for that. Any later, and it would have been kind of a little too close, right? Like if you did September 30th, that's too close,
Yeah, I think you're cutting it there.
But you just hit that end mark, and I think that's what they needed for this game. If we're being honest, this game they probably wanted to come out to fall. The developers, right? Who's making this one? I forget their name.
This is Supermassive, right?
Supermassive, yeah. The Vision guys. No, not Supermassive. Supermassive is the Until Dawn guys. Isn't that? Yeah.
No. Massive.
Massive. Okay. Yeah.
Supermassive is the Until Dawn guys. It's massive.
Super yet. They're not super.
Yeah, they're not super. It's massive. That's
okay. Massive. So Massive's making this one, and they probably wanted to fall if I had to guess, but Ubisoft's probably like, we got Assassin's Creed coming out to fall. You guys are gonna have to come out a little earlier, because I was expecting this game to be like June.
That's June or July was what I was thinking. But...
Yeah. So. If I had to guess, I don't know. I guess I don't even want to put this out there, but like this game would probably come out pretty buggy, and stuff like that. But I don't know. I guess I'm reading too far into that. But the Star Wars game, Star Wars Outlaws, very exciting.
Did you watch the trailer?
I did. I watched the trailer.
What do you think?
Pretty good. I guess I'm not like super hyped for like the overall story as of yet. I
still think they're holding a lot of cards back.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I'm sure we'll get more information at Ubisoft's E3 thing or whatever they call it now, Ubisoft Play. So yeah, I'm pretty excited from that standpoint. Main character looks cool. Places we're gonna be exploring looks cool. Looks like that casino world from The Last Jedi is in there.
So is that what that was?
It looked like it. Yeah, kinda. We know we're getting Emilia Clarke's character from Solo. Yeah, Kira. She's gonna be in this, which is very cool. Like,
do we know is Emilia doing the voice?
We do not know that. The character is confirmed to be in it, but yeah, I don't know. Did Ubisoft want to shell out that money for Emilia Clarke? I guess she's not doing much nowadays, right? So
I love Emilia Clarke. She better be in there.
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, that's very cool. That's one of those characters too. If you're a big Star Wars fan, that like you never really knew if they were gonna pop up against somewhere. If it was gonna be in like an animated series or their own television series or whatever, and cool to see him popping up in a video game. The Crimson Dawn would be the name of that group. Yeah, so which is interesting because I mean Maul's dead at this point in the timeline, so I wonder.
Is he?
Yeah, he would.
So this is after
Rebels,
New Hope?
right? And that would be this is because this takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Okay, that's where we're at. Okay.
So I wonder if it's like an Emilia Clarke is actually running that group now, type of thing. If her character
Yeah.
is running that group now.
So yeah, so he technically dies before New Hope.
Yeah, yeah, because you got in Rebels before that.
Mm-hmm.
So unless they're gonna bring him back again, which
No,
you
absolutely.
always could with Maul.
No.
Give him more spider legs.
His ending was perfection. You
I'll
cannot
tell
bring
you
him
what, you
back.
fight Darth Maul at the end of this game, that'll be the most hype thing ever. Like
It's
I'll be
Sam
freaking
Whitworth.
out. Oh, that'd be so fucking
Yeah, it
good.
would.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that'd be really cool.
would.
That's who you introduce at this game, Star Killer. You bring him in
Oh, I just
somehow.
meant he's the voice of Maul. So
Yeah, I know, but like you bring Star Killer in
we're
somehow.
not making
Yeah,
Star
that's
Killer canon.
come on, let's make Star Killer canon. Let's have some
We can't.
fun. It's fun though. So
It
yeah,
would be cool.
I'm very excited. I am curious about the open world aspect. How open is it? Is it just like because we're going to different planets, you know? So it's like, is it like I'm gonna be able to fly in between those planets at any point?
Yeah, like Witcher 3.
Yeah.
We have the couple zones and then
Right.
those
Yeah.
planets or whatever.
Yeah, even Rebirth now, kinda, right?
Or Outer Worlds.
Yeah. Yeah, that too. And like I wonder if you'll actually be able to fly there, right? That would be the unique thing about this game. Is like
They're not showing flying,
is it
so
like
I would
is
doubt
it
it.
start they showed ship combat
Did they?
at one point. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing the ship
Yeah,
combat.
we
I'm gonna
saw
be
ship
honest.
combat a while ago. So I don't know if it's like
Okay.
a
I
take
just didn't
off,
remember
loading
seeing it.
screen, you're in space, you can fly around a little,
Okay.
fight shit, and then loading screen, you're on a planet, or if it's like seamless. Go up from a planet, fly to the next planet, Starfield type shit, you know? I doubt it. That would be very impressive if it is that. That's what
Like
I want,
No
right?
Man's Sky.
Because when people talk about open world Star Wars games, it's like, okay, well, Jedi Survivor is open world, kinda, or has open areas like that,
Open areas, yeah.
and that would be the same thing here if it's not like a seamless fly planet to planet thing. Like they're marketing the term open world so much with this game that I kind of think it should be seamless flying from planet to planet.
That's asking a lot, especially from Ubisoft.
Yeah.
But they are the open world people. Like they make a
Right.
lot of open world
If
games.
people can figure that out, should be Ubisoft, right?
They make a ton of them. So it's just it can massive do that themselves. Like can they take that step and that leap? I don't know. It's tough. I know people like Division. Avatar seemed to be pretty good too. I haven't played it, but man, I would like that a type of No Man's Sky type of like fly out into the atmosphere, go into space, and then kind of go back and forth.
I mean, that's the dream, right? Like
that is the
that's what I want to
dream.
do with all the games, or all space games, is fly planet to planet. That's what you want. So I hope they can pull that off. It sounds really cool. And yeah, here another Star Wars game. So let's go. I'm excited for it. This will be the big one for this year.
Yeah, it's a good August game. We don't really have any other August dates yet.
Yeah,
which is good. Do we know how the companions or anything works? Because on the cover, there's like a robot guy with her, or a droid. So, and then she has her like little buddy.
Yeah.
Like the buddy's probably like an ability or something, maybe.
Yeah, it
But
looked like the buddy was with you. I'm just going off memory from the E3 demo. But it looked like that buddy was kind of always with you and like hopping off your shoulder. And I guess he was doing shit. You could probably command him to like do shit. Hey, move that crane for me or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I'll be there every game.
Moving a crane.
Yeah. And then yeah, there's that robot guy with like the long jacket. So I wonder if he's just like following you around type thing. I don't know. Very curious. We definitely need a bit more gameplay on this game. Which is good for Ubisoft, right? Because normally Ubisoft overdoes it with their marketing. You know, I feel like
they're forward
by the
when?
time
June?
June something. So I guess if we hold off till then, we'll probably get a ton of gameplay in June, I'd imagine. And then yeah.
It'll be this in Red, Assassin's Creed Red, I would assume.
Yeah. So do you think Assassin's Creed Red is this year still?
I mean, from all the rumors, yes.
Yeah.
If I were to guess, I'd probably say yeah. Probably late November is what I would guess.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you. October, November. I just think Ubisoft's usually on point with their Assassin's Creed release dates too. They don't really get off schedule.
I've had a big one in 4 years.
Been a while, right? Valhalla was the last big
Mirage,
one. Right?
yeah. Mirage was a small one that came out last year, but like it was a smaller team making one. So this is supposed to be the big team making it. So it's been a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, should be a big year for Ubisoft then too. I'd imagine these two would be two big sellers, you know.
Oh yeah, Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah. Like they could potentially have two top 10 sellers of the year, which is huge for them.
Yeah, because they haven't had one in a while.
Yeah.
Having two's huge. Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, definitely big deal. All right, cool. August 30th. Very excited. We'll see. We'll see if the writing chops over at Ubisoft though.
That's a
That's
good
kind of the
point.
main thing I'm worried about. I don't remember the last time I like really loved the Ubisoft story.
I'd have to like see what they've done. I mean, I like the. It depends on how much you would say love story, because like I think the Mario and Rabbids games are fun stories. They're not
Sure.
good, but they're fun, charming little stories. Yeah, I'd have to like look at their most recent releases to kind of see. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, we will see you on August 30th. Star Wars Outlaws. Next up, then we'll head over to the fun world of Xbox. This one coming from VGC. Xbox President Sarah Bond has established a new team dedicated to game preservation and backwards compatibility in future hardware. Daniel, looks like Sarah Bond getting a whole team ready to go here with backwards compatibility. Sounds pretty nice. One of those things I kind of like already thought was made, but
It was, but they most recent or within the past few years have slowed on backwards compatibility, like trying to get new games backwards compatible. So I thought this was important to kind of put here for us and as a story, because it seems like with Sarah's new leadership and stuff, they're doubling down on having more. So I would guess that they're
you
going to try to
think they're
get
trying to
more.
go back and get even more games? I thought this was
I would
just for
assume.
like future games. What else is there
Well,
to
that
put
too.
get back
I mean,
get
there are
on
games
there?
that aren't.
Are
There are
there?
games that are not. Yeah, a
Okay.
lot of it's like either licensed stuff or
Yeah.
yeah. There are games that are
But I
not.
don't imagine like a you could make all the teams you want. There's nothing you can really do about licensed stuff with different publishers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, it's also future proofing their backwards compatible stuff
I
too.
actually ran into this problem the other day. I was trying to download Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the old one. If you remember, they re-released that on like
And it
PS4
took it
and
down.
Xbox One. Yeah, and they took it down years ago. And I was
If
like,
you own it already,
where the hell
then you're
is that
fine.
game? I don't own
I
it.
own
I
it.
was like, fuck, do
I
you? Oh, okay,
yeah.
nice. Yeah, I should have jumped on that. I never even heard about the game getting taken down. I guess it got taken down years ago at this point. So
Yeah,
yeah, I was looking for that the other day and I was like, yeah, so that sucks. And
crazy.
so I don't know. I mean, yeah, what could a team do over there for that, you know?
Yeah, they're definitely future proofing. You were right. Like this is looking for like the next console, making sure everything still works and having that team and all that, doing FPS boost and all of that kind of stuff, graphics boosts that they do really well at with their backwards compatibility. But I would guess that there are games that they want to get that they can't. Like I don't know everything that's not compatible, but
Yeah, I guess it's hard to say because we don't know.
yeah,
But yeah, I feel like for majority of the stuff that you would want is on
most of the
there.
big stuff.
Yeah.
There's got to be other stuff though, especially like original Xbox games too,
Yeah. Yeah,
not
there's
just
probably quite a
360.
few of those where
Yeah, because there's not a
there's
ton
not.
of original Xbox stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool if they could go back and get more. I guess I didn't even think of that. So yeah, I mean, very cool though. I downloaded the Mad Max game. I never played that, and I
Oh
just
yeah,
watched.
the
I watched the first Mad Max movie, and I was like, oh, I wonder how that game is. So I re-downloaded that
people like that game a
on
lot.
Xbox. Looks beautiful with the FPS
Hmm.
boost and the HDR. I was like, holy shit, this game looks good for 10 years old now, right? So I was like,
Is it
damn,
10 years old? Oh my
10 years
god,
old. Is it maybe 9? Might be 9, right? 'Cause
that's
it came
still
out.
it's so
It,
old.
yeah, it's so old, but like it came out the same day as Metal Gear Solid 5, if you remember that. And
Oh
it's kind of
yeah.
just like, well, everyone's gonna choose Metal Gear Solid 5, right? So I never even ended up getting around to that game. And yeah, it looked absolutely beautiful on the FPS boost and
Hmm.
HDR. So I mean, that really is like one of the coolest features on the new Xbox hardware is that FPS boost. It's just fucking awesome.
Yeah, just all their whole backwards compatible stuff and how all of that works, all their cross save between the consoles work and all that. Like
Yeah.
yeah, or in their cloud saves. Yeah, all that stuff is just kind of it just works over there on the Xbox.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
very
makes me
seamless.
curious about like what is this team actually gonna do. I guess it is just
Hmm.
for future mostly, but yeah, I don't know. You would expect there to already be a team, so it's kind of not that big of news, but still very cool. Like
I
it's
think it's
good to
still
know
important.
Xbox is dedicated to it, right?
Yes, exactly.
Well then speaking of new Xboxes and whatnot, Sarah Bond also had some things to say about the next Xbox console, saying, we are moving full speed ahead on our next generation hardware, focused on delivering the biggest technological leap ever in a generation. So she kind of doubled down on this. I know she said the same thing in the Xbox podcast
Hmm.
after the whole Xbox games going on other consoles. So yeah, kind of doubling down here that there is another Xbox in development. So
What's the rumor? Is it 2026?
yeah, the rumor's 2026. So I wonder if Xbox is just gonna skip the whole doing a pro version of the series and just go straight into a new
I think
generation.
at this point that makes sense. I know
Yeah,
that PlayStation seeming to do a pro,
yeah,
but like I think at this point it's pretty clear that these consoles are still not powerful enough for what is necessary and what they were marketing going into this generation. So I don't know if maybe they can get whatever they were promising in 2 years, then just go ahead and do a new gen.
yeah. I've always said too. It makes a lot of sense for Xbox to get offbeat with PlayStation and do a console at a different year than them and not
They were
directly
in the 360
compete.
gen.
Yeah, that was a year before, right? So I think it makes even more sense get 2 years off beat with them, and like now at least for a couple of years to be able to, hey, we are the most powerful console on the market right now, and that'll at least get some more buys, right? Because people looking for the most powerful thing, you're gonna have to go to Xbox through 2028, right? So
Hmm.
I think that's a very smart idea to come out in 2026.
Maybe have games lined up right there too.
Yeah, see what you could have lined up. Yeah, I wonder what would be ready in 2026. I mean, getting a lot of rumors of Gears going, so I gotta
State of
imagine that's like
Decay,
2025. Yeah, State of Decay, and that's not really
Gears.
much of a console
Um,
seller, right?
yeah, yeah. Not right now, but maybe it could be.
Yeah, I wonder if like I don't know. I can't imagine Fable's that far, right?
Forza
You gotta think
Horizon.
that. Yeah, that type of stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Fall 2026 could be a good time to go ahead
yeah,
start next gen for Xbox.
yeah. I think so.
All
Yeah,
right.
I don't know what they I don't know really know what Xbox's plans are. They're kind of in a bit of a limbo. I think they just need to start putting out games right now, more than
Yeah,
anything.
I mean we're pretty much here, right? Like, yeah, like I've said before, it's just really unfortunate that there's this big a gap between their last major release and Hellblade. I
Hmm.
think they probably would have liked something in the February March type of area. But whatever. I mean, waiting all the way till May, it's not that far when you think about it. It's like 6 7 months, so it's really not that bad. But
I mean, PlayStation, it's even longer.
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I mean, when was the last time they even put out Spider Man?
Spider-Man 2, that's
Yeah, I
it.
mean, we don't even know what their next big game is. But
Yeah.
I think with Xbox, it was because everyone just talks about when the tiles start falling, right? And it's like, okay,
Hmm.
they kind of did with Starfield, but then it was like, okay, now there's a gap here. But it should be once Hellblade comes out, Avowed and Indiana Jones should be a bit quicker. I gotta imagine one of those early fall ones, the latter half of the fall. So
Yeah.
it should be a bit quicker there. Then you still got things like fall should be very busy for Xbox actually because they got Towerborn, that
Hmm.
Aura Untold whatever game.
Yeah.
So it should be very busy in the fall for Xbox, which is a problem they've kind of had throughout this whole
Yeah, they need to
generation,
spread more.
right? Yeah, it does need to be a little bit more spread out. So maybe one of those gets kicked this spring.
Yeah, I don't know what would though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless they
Maybe
do
Avowed
one
or
a month.
Indie could use a bit more time. One of those, I could see a world where Avowed needs a bit more time, especially with how big Obsidian games tend to be and how many technical issues that might come with. So maybe you just do Indie as your big fall game, and Avowed comes out in like February, March.
Yeah, but then you're gonna get those gamers that are gonna complain
Yeah,
about another delay.
I mean, fuck them, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, gamers are gonna, people are gonna complain no matter what. So you gotta look out for you.
That's true. That's true. And yeah, if Avowed's not ready or whatever, I think they could space it out pretty well. Like May is Hellblade. You could do August as Avowed, and then November as Indiana Jones. Like I think that's fine.
That'd be ideal, right?
Yeah, and then Towerborn could be kind of wherever you want. So with Aura, like those, I feel
Right.
like are also two very particular games that have particular audiences. Because Aura History Untold, like it's a 4X game on PC. Like that's not the same audiences Avowed, you know.
Yeah.
So like that game could kind of go where it wants to. Towerborn, I think we know a little bit less, but like that game, I think also just has a different audience. You just put that, who knows? That could be September, you know.
For sure. All right, cool. Well, we'll definitely be hearing more about Xbox in early June, so about a month, 6 weeks or whatever.
Oh no, that's great. That hurts to even think about
We're
that.
already
Time
halfway
doesn't
through the
stop.
year in two
Yeah.
months. That hurts.
Yeah.
Then 2024 just start like yesterday.
That's what it feels like.
Our next news story. Some insight from Matt Piscatella showed that video game console purchases actually peaked in 2008 and that today's landscape and that in today's landscape, consoles are being purchased by older generations while younger audiences seem less interested in playing games on console, which is why video game companies are looking more towards other avenues to make money. Daniel, a little bit of insight here from Matt Piscatella of what's going on in the overall landscape.
Yeah, I thought this was an interesting story.
Seems like the young kids ain't liking the consoles, Daniel.
No, they don't want, like, they want to play. Number one, they don't want to play with. They want to play with their friends, right? Like they love like co-op or multiplayer or anything like that. Like they want to hang out and play games with their friends. That's why Fortnite's huge, Minecraft's big, Roblox is big, stuff like that. Fall
Just to
Guys.
note, Matt Piscatella did delete this later, so I don't know why. I don't know what was going on there. Yeah, it's deleted now, so I don't know what exactly was going on there. There was like a whole graph and stuff too. So
yeah, that's what I linked to.
Yeah,
it's just not working. Interesting. Maybe he'll say more about that. I don't know. As of now, I just found that part interesting. I found the more interesting part was the last part you said about like younger generations and playing mobile and multiplayer and stuff like that. So yeah, I found that to be the more interesting part.
It is very interesting, right? Like because there are more gamers than ever. There's just not more gamers like how me and you like to play games than ever, right? It's and that number is actually still pretty high. On the graph he had, it was like 2024, 2023. I guess 2024 wasn't on there, but 22, 23 was still very high on that graph. Where like the dip down was actually in like 2014, 2015, and then it actually rose up through COVID and stuff like that. Actually, almost hit the 2008 number. But yeah, and now it seems to be going back down again after COVID.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. These younger generations, they like mobile. They like handheld. They like being on the go, playing multiplayer stuff. So yeah, the typical console game, sit down and play, just seems to be a little less what they want to play.
Yeah, and you could see why. I think you know, the younger generation, they are so used to playing games on phone that it kind of blows my mind. We never did that. Like you know, I remember my sister telling me like her study hall was just when she was in high school was just everyone was just sitting there playing Fortnite on their phone. You know, everyone. Oh, no. And it's like that's insane. You know, that never happened back then. Like I remember, we had computers and we would play fucking Halo on it. You know, yeah. Like that's what we had. And I guess towards the end of high school, I played through all of like GTA 3 on my phone when that like first became a thing. You know, yeah. So like I guess it was kind of just starting right around then, 2012 ish, and so yeah, but yeah, it is just nuts how used to the younger generation is to playing games on their phone.
I think for me, like I was playing PC stuff, going to websites, playing stuff, or I did have iPod Touch, like third generation iPod Touch that I was able to have like mobile games there. I had like Angry Birds and Fruit Ninja and Plants vs Zombies. That's one of my favorite mobile games. That might be the best mobile game ever, in my opinion. Plants vs Zombies.
Still. Hell yeah.
Actually, Florence is up there too, but yeah, I only played very few back then. But yeah, as phones got more powerful and the App Store got crazy, you know, it's just what kids are playing now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna see the effects of this for definitely a long time, but within the next maybe couple of generations of consoles, maybe not PS6 and the next Xbox, but PS7 and the Xbox after that, maybe we'll start actually seeing a change.
Maybe a little. I don't know. I think the number will even out to about what it's always been at some point. Because you got to think, there's so many more kids playing games nowadays, right? Like just through their phones and playing Fortnite and stuff like that. Those kids are gonna grow up and they're either gonna look for different games, different variety of games, which will obviously then lead them to console or PC, or they're just gonna stop playing games in general, or they'll just keep playing Fortnite, right, and whatever the fuck. And for that, I mean, at some point they're gonna want a different way. I gotta imagine they'll want a different way to play Fortnite at some point. Maybe I guess I don't know. Like when these kids are 30, are they really gonna come home from a long day of work and play fucking Fortnite on their fucking iPhone still? Like yeah, I guess maybe they could, and I guess maybe at that point you'll just be able to stream it to your TV, so you won't need an actual console anyways.
That's true. Yeah,
I just think there's always gonna be those kids that are gonna be more interested and more passionate about video games that they're going to look for other games to go and play, right? Like I remember I was
Yeah.
different in high school from the kids playing
Call of
Call of
Duty,
Duty.
Halo.
You know, yeah, like everyone's going home and playing Call of Duty every night. I'm going home and playing fucking No More Heroes, you know. It's like it's
Nerd.
yeah. But it's like as long as there's kids like that, and there will always be
Yeah.
kids like that that just fall in love with video games, not just Fortnite, right? Then I think the console space will always be able to even out because you're going to have to get a console to play those games or a PC.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to figure out a way to draw them. I
Yeah.
think more, but how you do that, I don't know. Like,
I think that's where like Fortnite skins come into play, right? You see Kratos doing the fucking Fortnite dance.
who is
At
that?
least
Yeah,
a handful of kids are like, "Who is that? What's that? Oh, this Kratos guy has his own games." You see Master Chief. Oh, Master Chief has his own games. Oh, my fucking dad used to play this Halo game. He showed me Halo
my
3,
boomer
you know, because
dad
he loved it. Yeah, my fucking boomer dad
played Halo
played Halo
2.
back in the day, and then all of a sudden they're into the new Halo game, or they go back and play Infinite or whatever the fuck, right? Like I think there's always going to be that more niche audience, and console market might become more niche, I guess,
I
but there's
think it will.
always going to
Yeah.
be that niche audience, I think, you know. And I think a lot of these companies are just going to have to accept that they're going to make less money and it's not going to
That's
grow.
the biggest thing for sure. There,
Yeah,
that is. I think you just nailed it. They're going to have to accept that this infinite growth that they think they're going to keep going is not going to happen.
right.
They're going to have to accept just minimal growth and maybe spending less. I'm going to remember, like, we keep talking about this, spending less on these AAA games
Yeah,
for development. Spend less,
and I mean that's
make smaller games.
what we're seeing with the layoffs, right?
Yeah.
Like that is the main, that is majority where the money goes, is to labor, is to workers, right? And that's why we're seeing so many layoffs. So they
Yeah.
are spending less.
Yeah. Make smaller games and spend less, right? Try to make a nice variety of
Which is
games.
unfortunate that it comes at the cost of people's jobs and their livelihood, but I mean,
Of
it
course.
is what it is, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, we'll still. I mean, we're going to keep seeing that too. That's just something.
And one thing
Surprise
that
people.
doesn't worry, I know people read stuff like this and they're like, "Ah, oh, single player games are dying. They're gonna just stop being made." Well, one thing that really doesn't worry me with that is that game creators are incredibly creative people, and they are going to want to make different things.
Yeah.
Video game makers are not going to want to sit there and make Fortnite for their entire career. They're just not. That's not going to happen. They're going to want to go off and make single player things, make interesting stories, interesting worlds, interesting new forms of multiplayer games. So I think as long as we have incredibly creative people in the video game space making video games, we'll always have single player games and games that me and you tend to like.
Yeah, I think that it might change where we play ultimately,
Sure,
right?
I
Like, I
could see a
think
world where 20 years me and you are on PC because we
that's
have to
exactly what I
be.
was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that maybe consoles start moving way more towards mobile and to the younger audiences, and then we move to where the other smaller creators are, and that's PC,
Yeah.
right?
Which is why you see Xbox putting games on other consoles, which is why you see PlayStation going so heavily into movies and stuff like that, which is why you see Nintendo making theme parks now. They're looking for all these different avenues to make money in.
And day one and PlayStation putting day one on PC as well.
Yeah.
Themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're gonna all have to transition. Like there's a very real possibility in a couple decades, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo aren't even things you click on to go and play games. They are just publishers of games.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very fascinating. That's why I thought this story was interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it's
I'm
very
curious. Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just
curious what Matt Piscatella, why he deleted it. I did not know that, and that makes me question.
yeah, I wonder if he had some misinformation in there or something, you know, maybe something was wrong or whatever. Maybe it
Yeah,
was just stirring up console fanboy shit on his
it
timeline and
could.
he was just like, ah, just fuck this. I'm just
He
deleting
seems
it
to
then.
do that all the time. If
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
And sometimes he does it to himself, though.
Yeah.
I don't follow him. I only see like retweets of,
You
and
got
then
to
it's
remember
him.
people get paid for tweets now, right? And
Yeah.
like they can monetize that shit. So it's the more he puts out, the more money he will get, even if it is just a little bit of money. Like I saw someone saying like, why would they do this? They only make like $500 on that tweet for stirring up shit. Dude, that's
Just one
500.
tweet.
That's $500. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, what are you talking about? I can buy groceries. Like,
hmm
the
Some people are
economy's
just out
rough
of
out
touch.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I didn't know how to rate this one up, but we did get some Yuji Naka info.
Oh,
Some
I
more
didn't know what
stuff
to
going
put.
on. I don't know what to put either, so I'm just gonna read it from the VGC tweet. Sonic
Okay.
the Hedgehog co-creator Yuji Naka ended a 16-month social media blackout today by accusing top Dragon Quest producer Yu Mika. You're gonna have to pronounce that one through.
You want me to
Miyaki?
click into it?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay.
Anyways, he accused him of lying as part of Naka's high-profile insider trading trial. So there we go. Roping in the Dragon
I would
Quest
say
guy into this.
Miyaki.
Miyaki. Okay.
Miyaki.
Miyaki. Miyaki-san.
What a wild story. This man came out of nowhere and said, yeah, this guy was lying about some of the things he said about the insider trading.
Yeah.
That's a big that's huge.
It's a big deal.
That's a big deal. This dude's like, yeah, it's not this whole story is not true. This guy was lying. That's wild. Because if he's caught lying again, like with like false accusing this other man, like is he gonna get charged for something else?
Yeah. The world of white collar crimes is fascinating. What
That's
goes
a good
on
way to
there.
put it.
It's really fascinating. So yeah, I don't necessarily even know what to make of this. Like,
I
is
don't
he
either.
lying?
Because he's been charged twice.
Yeah. It's just like this
Confused.
dude's lying. So like, I don't. Is he trying to like rope that guy into this, or like is that guy clearly just involved in this as well?
Is he trying to take him down too?
Yeah, because
Is that-
because the guy he's accusing was a producer on Balan Wonderworld as well. So they were clearly closely working together while they were making that game.
Yeah, that
I
one
don't know.
game was a Dragon Quest game that he like put money into.
Okay,
It was like a side Dragon Quest game.
Yeah,
like
I wonder if it's like
mobile game.
You're coming down with me, motherfucker.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
Put him in jail. Sonic creator, man.
I mean, this
man.
man, he created Sonic.
Yeah,
like
he deserves to be in jail. Like
forever.
16 months, not long enough. Not long enough for his crimes.
Yeah, 16 centuries more like it.
Yeah, for his crimes against you. We need to figure out a way to keep this man alive for his entire lifelong prison sentence.
Look what you did. You created this.
You did this. And just force him to watch the Sonic movie over and over again.
Oh, don't do that. Start bleeding from his eyes.
The Knuckles show comes out soon. At least I'll have more content to watch.
True.
Yeah. That the third Sonic movie comes out at the end of this year. We still don't know who's voicing Shadow. And they wrapped filming. We have no idea.
Isn't
who's
it
voicing
Hayden
Shadow.
Christensen?
That's the rumor.
That's
Is
the
Hayden
rumor?
Christensen. Yeah. I hope it is. That's a dope casting if that's who that ends up being.
I'm trying to think of who could be Shadow.
One of the producers was talking like there's gonna be they're gonna lead up to an Avengers level movie with the Sonic movies. That's what they said specifically. It's like great. I can't wait to get the crocodile with the chain.
The whole
thing. I can't fucking wait.
Characters.
I love how they think these Sonic characters are so fucking popular that they'll all be able to hold their own movie. It's like
we gotta get Amy.
Yeah, you tell me
that.
Oh, Roost the Bat. I'll go see that movie.
Yeah, you would.
I'll go see that.
That's a kids movie, Connor.
Rated R.
Oh my god. Just explicit sex in that movie.
Explicit hedgehog sex and a bat thing, whatever she is.
The bat with boobs, that's what she is.
I'll go watch it.
Yeah, you would.
All right. Well, we'll hear more about Yuji Naka at some point. I guess he's only in there 16 months, so whatever. Did he tweet from prison? Was that what was going on here?
Oh no. What? maybe he's on parole for 16 months or something in Japan. Japan might be different.
Interesting. All right. Well,
or maybe it's his estate tweeting out. I guess I don't know.
Next up, then, Gearbox Publishing, which wasn't sold along with Gearbox Entertainment, the actual studio. They weren't along with the package that was being sold to Take-Two. They plan to keep on publishing games and have now rebranded themselves as Arc Games. And their first major title will come out later this year, and that game is Hyper Light Breaker. So they are still publishing that game. That'll come out later this year. They were hyping that up a little bit in their tweet. Daniel, Arc Games got a new publisher, I guess, in a way, rebranded.
I thought this was interesting because, Gearbox was always publishing stuff for a while, like maybe kind of quietly. They were pretty decent sized publisher. I guess they don't necessarily need them because of how big Take-Two is and how big their publishing arm is. They instead of like getting them and then firing some people for redundancies. They're just like, well, you're pretty big already. It just rebrand and you can kind of keep your own independence and keep publishing stuff. So I feel like that's a pretty good story, right? Like people aren't losing their jobs; they're kind of maintaining a arm of publishing still. Yeah, Hyperlight Breaker. I would like to play that game. I still have not played Hyperlight Drifter. That's a game I've always wanted to play. But yeah, I think this was a pretty nice story.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of the Toys for Bob situation with Microsoft. Yeah. It was just like, hey, okay, well, like we're not gonna just buy you guys and then shut them down, right? It's just okay, just go off and be your own thing, be independent, and you guys keep making money that way. It's I guess what's a little bit worrisome, I guess, is where does the money come from on the publishing side? Then I guess like how much back capital do they get to keep out of the whole Gearbox split, because they're gonna need, for a publisher, you're gonna need money, right? That's the whole point. So yeah, a little bit interested to see where the money come from. Hopefully it doesn't.
Maybe they had a bank still.
Yeah, I guess like hopefully it doesn't like all depend on how good Hyperlight Drifter does, or Breaker, whatever this one's called. Hopefully it's not like everything's riding on that game, because we need more income to then publish other games. So yeah, I don't know. It's a good thing to have more publishers around though, more teams to go through for more money and make better games and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, I didn't really think about them. Where's their back end capital coming from? And
it's an interesting thing to think about, Like,
do they have a vault?
Where's the money? Yeah, they got it somewhere. Gearbox vault. It's literally the vault from Borderlands.
they broke into
it. Got that vagina monster in it.
Oh my god, my favorite monster.
Yeah, it's the best vagina with teeth. It was great. Go beat Borderlands. All right. Well, Arc Games. They need to publish Arc. I know that.
Are they the publisher of Arc?
They need to figure that out somehow. I don't know how, but they need to figure that out.
Arc publishing Arc 2, yeah.
Yeah, that needs to be a thing.
Yeah, that game's still in the ether. Like, I guess that team had just did the updated HD version or whatever version of the original Arc.
Next gen.
Remember, it's like an enhanced edition or next gen edition.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they stopped making Arc 2 to do that, or like took part of the team away to do that. That was just a weird choice when they could have just kept doing Arc 2, because Arc 2 was announced at the Xbox thing years ago.
Yeah, forever ago at this point. So
so a while ago.
Vin Diesel just busy, man. He's like, I can't.
Yeah, it's been like 3 years.
We can't mocap that game right now. Which is weird because it's like a survival game, so it's like, how much is Vin Diesel even really in it?
Yeah, how much story is in that game?
Yeah, like what's going on there exactly? Vin Diesel's over here just filming shit, making a story out of Arc. All right.
Oh, family.
Speaking of next gen editions, it's not in here, but the Fallout 4 next gen update got announced today.
Yes.
Coming out on April 25th, so a couple weeks from now.
Soon.
Yeah, very cool.
Right around when the show's going.
Going with the show, yeah. I watched the first episode last night, so it is. I guess I'll talk about it on what we've been playing. I can talk about it now. First episode. Sure. Fucking fantastic, man.
I can't wait to watch it.
Absolutely loved it. They nailed it, man.
Yeah, good.
It's interesting because the show is like, it's kind of set up like a comedy, and it kind of has like a comedy feel to it.
Oh, it is kind of comedy.
No, it is. That's like perfect. It's comedy mixed with action. And I was kind of worried they'd make an action or TV show and then throw in bits of comedy. Yeah, but this is like a comedy show mixed in with a little bit of action, and that is perfect for Fallout. Yeah, it's great. They nailed the dark sense of humor, and then just everything about it, the aesthetic of it, the atmosphere and all that just feels so Fallout. And I fucking loved the first episode. So
I have 2 questions for you. Number 1, do I need to know, because I know a decent amount of Fallout, but I've not like played really any of the games. Sure. Do I need to know that much about the games?
No, I mean, it doesn't. It is in the world of the video games, but you don't know. It's not gonna. I'm sure at some point they'll do hints of things that have happened in the games, and that'll be cool for like fans. But no, you don't need to. It's on a completely different side of the country. It's in LA, so it's the recent Fallout games. Well, I haven't played Fallout 1 and 2 myself either.
Yeah, those are in the West Coast, right?
Yeah, those are in the West Coast, but those would even be in the timeline of Fallout like 100 years before this. And then this is kind of closer to the timeline of Fallout 3 and 4. Fallout 3 would have been like 20 years before where the TV show takes place, and then Fallout 4 would have been like 10 years before where the TV show takes place. So you don't really need to know too much from the other shows. There was actually a bit of an Easter egg from Fallout 4 already in the first episode that I noticed. So yeah, but no, you don't need to. As long as you know like what the general idea of Fallout is, you'll be fine. Yeah. And actually, I think people that don't even know what Fallout is would actually be fine too. So
And then how are those effects holding up? At least for that first
look great,
episode.
look great. Like I said, it was very smart of them to go the more comedy route instead of the action, because now they don't have to do so many high level effects and big CGI things and stuff like that. They can try to. I still think the power armor looked a little funky. You know, if you remember from the trailer, I said that, or like them just walking looks a little weird. Everything looks like cosplay a little bit. And I know that kind of sounds off-putting, but because it is a comedy, it works more. You know,
Okay.
I feel like if they were going for a much more serious tone, it would look goofy. But now everything with the comedy tone, it all fits very well, I feel.
Did you like all three of the main characters?
Yeah, you didn't get much of Walter Goggins in the first episode. There was
Okay.
a little bit of him, but the other two, I actually the leading female, I forget her name.
I seen her in something. I couldn't
She
place it
actually
though.
does the voice of Jinx in the Arcane show, and yeah, which is
Oh.
cool. It's cool. You know, her and Caitlin Dever got the right idea. They're seeing these video game adaptations and video games, and they're
We're
like,
gonna get in there.
we're getting in there. Yeah, they got it
Oh,
very
I like
smart.
this girl.
She
Okay,
was
cool.
great. Yeah, I loved her in the first episode. So
Okay.
yeah, and
That's
she seems
exciting.
she seems to be like the overall main character, and you can tell that from like just the promotional work and stuff
Yeah.
like that. She's on the cover of all the posters and stuff. And so yeah, I'm really loving her. And then there's a guy that's in the Brotherhood of Steel, which is
Yeah.
like kind of the army of, you know, I don't know how much you know about Fallout, but it's kind of like the army of the new world a little bit. And yeah, he's like a new, well, not new. He's been in the Brotherhood for a little while, but he was like a cadet, and now he's like rising up the ranks a little bit.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you didn't get like as much of him either, but you did get a good amount of him, and he seemed really good as well though.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm very excited. And this is all dropped at once?
This all dropped at once, yeah, all 8
Okay.
episodes, yeah. Got
Eight,
great
I was in
reviews
eight
too, so it
episodes.
seems
Okay.
like it seems like it sticks the landing and like is able
Good.
to maintain the quality throughout the whole thing. So yeah, awesome, man, awesome to see, very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna be playing a Fallout game very soon because like
I
just
want
watch
to.
it.
I want to play 3 New Vegas and 4. I
Oh,
would like
dude,
to
you
go
should
through
play
them.
3. 3 plays great on Series X too, with the
Yeah.
FPS boost and HDR and stuff. Yeah, it's like, I mean,
I'm
obviously,
assuming it.
it's
Yeah.
not a great first-person shooter. Don't go in there like thinking
I'm
that,
not.
but like,
No.
yeah, with VATS and
That's the game.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. So, but like with VATS and stuff, yeah, I would have liked more a VATS hint actually, because there was like a shootout part, and I was like, where's the VATS? You know, like
That'd be
I
funny.
want someone to freeze time or something. You know, do something there. Yeah, that would have been cool. But yeah, man, I love the first episode, so I'm very
Are they
excited to
hour-long
watch more.
episodes?
The first one was like an hour 20. So
Oh.
yeah, very long. I think some of them are like 45 minutes though. I think there's like a couple like
So
40-ish minutes in there.
rough
Yeah,
hour.
a rough hour for all the
Okay.
episodes, and there's 8 episodes. So yeah,
I'm
man,
excited. I'm definitely.
it's great
want
that
to check it out.
that this is actually good. You know, it's like
Yeah.
this. I was kind of a little worried about this one throughout the whole production period, because it's just seems like so hard to do that, and we've just been so burned on video game adaptations in the past. That's just, it's kind of hard. You can't tell which ones are going to be good and which ones are not going to be good. But I mean, we're in a great era right now for video game adaptations. I mean, Mario movie is great, Last of Us is great, Arcane is fucking incredible.
Arcane's still
now
my favorite.
adding this Fallout show into it, right?
Yeah.
It's just great. So
I've been hearing people say that the Fallout show might be better than the Last of Us show.
yeah, I wonder if I'll feel the same at the end of it. I like the tone already more than I like the
Yeah.
Last of Us tone, you know, just depressing zombie apocalypse and the very fun upbeat apocalypse stuff. You know, it's just God, what do you feel about the games anyways? Like I just like the tone of Fallout more than I like the tone of Last of Us just in general. So
Yeah.
that's not too surprising for me. But yeah, I wonder if I'll like it more in the Last of Us show by the end of it.
Yeah. From what I've seen more people say that it is better than that, which I thought I didn't think was going to happen, but
Cool. I mean, that's a
that's
high
a lot of
mark, right?
praise.
Yeah.
That's a lot of praise. Yeah.
I mean, it's great. You know, I forgot Jonathan Nolan was directing this too. Like,
Mhm.
he's a big part of this. He directed the first episode, and he's producing the whole thing and helped write the whole thing. So, I mean, that's obviously a great name to have. I know he's not as acclaimed as his brother, but he's
More of a
still pretty
writer than
good.
his brother, right?
Yeah, he also produced at least the first couple seasons of Westworld, which I've only seen season 1 of Westworld, but yeah, he did a very good job on that, and it's just cool to have a big name like that that's super interested in Fallout. Did you see that picture of all of Todd Howard and the In Exile guy at the premiere and stuff? It's
Brian
that's
Fargo.
cool. That's the team. That's the team. Phil, take all of them, Make them make their own Fallout studio. Take them all away from whatever they're doing over over in their other studios.
Mm-hmm.
Make a Fallout studio. I'm Phil right now. I'm like, dude, we got to get Fallout shit going now.
What's that other guy with the glasses? I can't remember his name.
I don't know their names either. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Fargo's the one over here in Exile.
That's Brian Fargo. Okay.
And then you got Todd, and then
what is the other guy even from?
The other two guys I think are from Obsidian.
Are they? Okay, cool.
Yeah. One's the glasses guy, but like, oh man, they need to like find a way to get a team that is like a Fallout team or something.
They really do. They really do, man.
Like Todd clearly likes Elder Scrolls more, but he likes Fallout a lot.
For sure. I mean, Elder Scrolls is his baby, right?
It's his baby. Yeah. So like let him do that and then have someone make a Fallout game. It could be a top-down Fallout game. It doesn't need to be a first person.
Yeah, it could be. You could do so many different things in
Disco
Fallout.
Elysium.
You could make a linear FPS game, you know, that could be fun. Anything.
BioShock
yeah, anything like that. You know, any strategy game, anything really. Like you could make so many things in the Fallout universe.
I mean, XCOM-y type game.
And people are going to be craving this after the show. So it's very smart of them to get the next gen update out right now.
Yeah.
You know, very quickly at least. And I think we're going to see numbers of Fallout games start rising. You're going to start seeing tweets about that. Like Fallout 3 player count shot up, Fallout New Vegas player count shot up, Fallout 4 player count shot up.
All the sales, yeah.
Yeah, Fallout 76 even. It's a shame that the majority of people will probably go to 76, like casual audiences. Like, what's the latest Fallout game? And that kind of sucks that they'll go to 76. You know, if you're just yeah, I'm sure it is. Like, I don't want to hate on it too much, but it's like that's not really what Fallout is, you know.
Yeah,
to me at least.
Very true.
But yeah, I'll be excited as fuck if you start playing Fallout 3. I will talk.
I mean, it might be a bit, but I do want to play.
Okay,
I do want to.
You got Rebirth and stuff. Yeah, I know what you mean. You should play.
There's a lot.
Dude, if you want to hop into New Vegas, I'll do it. I'll do a New Vegas playthrough with you. Talk about that every week. Fucking love that game. I haven't played that game in years either. So.
Yeah, I want to play.
It's just awesome to see like one of my favorite franchises just get this much attention, you know.
Yeah, Prime's about to explode because they're about to get The Boys.
Oh yeah, The Boys season 4 coming out
Invincible
soon.
just airing.
Invincible just ended. Oh dude, Invincible's so good. I really gotta watch The Boys, but
I need to watch. You should really watch.
You need to watch Invincible. I need to watch.
I need to watch Invincible.
Yeah. I love the season 2 ending of Invincible though. It was fucking awesome. Bought a T-shirt. I don't know why I didn't wear it.
Oh.
That's how big a fan I am.
Yeah,
bought a T-shirt. Yeah. All right. Our next news story, and I'll go to some EA stuff. EA Motive is now dedicating a portion of its team to help develop future Battlefield games while still working on their own Iron Man game. This goes along with recent rumors from Jeff Grubb and Jason Schreier that the team was working on another Dead Space project of some sort, but that has since been shelved. Daniel?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on with EA Motive here.
Even within that Dead Space thing, it was like they were both like, was it like a Dead Space 2 remake or was it a complete Dead Space 2 reimagining? You know, like
Grubb said he heard Dead Space 2 remake, but then Jason Schreier came out and clarified that it was just some sort of Dead Space project. Mm-hmm. So take that for what it is. And also, to be fair, EA did counter Grubb's comment and say that there's no. That's not true. Pretty much, I forget exactly what their words were. But
yeah, that it was just they don't really talk about rumors. Or whatever.
They refuted those claims.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And like, yeah, I don't necessarily believe EA, but like,
I don't either.
And I don't necessarily fully believe everything that like Grubb's usually pretty reliable. So is Schreier, but like they are talking.
I believe they've heard this. Like I believe someone told them.
It was at least in talks, but maybe not in development, and maybe that is why EA is like no.
It seems like it was in concept stage and it just didn't get greenlit.
Yeah, it's with the sadder part of this whole thing is that Dead Space Remake just didn't sell very well. And I think that they just had too high of expectations for that game.
They did, because
you need to know what it is.
It sold pretty good. It was in top 20 last year, of MPD. And I know Matt Piscatello was tweeting about, or no, maybe it was Andy Robinson. One of them was tweeting about how well it sold in Europe. Like it outsold a lot of big games last year in Europe, specifically. So it sold okay, and it's just these publishers, they just don't have the right expectations for these games.
Yeah, they're spending too much and expecting too much. That's what they're doing. And I know they kind of needed to do a whole new engine and stuff for them, right? Like this game was being built up, and we saw that, which is really cool. And it just sucks that like a game as good as Dead Space remake is just not gonna we're not gonna see more. Like
Yeah,
that's crazy. It's like I'm interested in the EA Motive Iron Man game, and like them supporting Battlefield makes sense, but I would like to have seen them continue Dead Space.
for sure.
You know.
And maybe they could come back to that one day, right? Like we do know EA is pulling out of making so many games with Disney, and it seems like whatever the third one was might have gotten canceled. But we know they're still making the Black Panther game and the Iron Man game.
Mm-hmm.
They did pull back those comments and say we're going to rely less on other people's IP and rely more on our own IP.
Dead Space.
So yeah, so maybe there's just one Iron Man game, and then EA Motive can go back to Dead Space. Maybe.
How far is that?
I mean it's extremely far. Don't get me wrong. Like you won't be seeing that until like the 2030s, but that is a possibility unless that Iron Man game just comes out does super super well. It very well.
And maybe they make it quicker.
Yeah. So I wouldn't totally rule out getting another Dead Space at some point down the line, but it's going to be a very long time. Now the Battlefield thing that just worries me because it just reminds me of Call of Duty. And it reminds me of Activision.
Make a Battlefield.
It just reminds me of them putting all their good teams on Call of Duty. It's just like, hey, Toys for Bob, make Call of Duty. Hey, Beanox, make Call of Duty. Now it's like, hey, EA Motive,
Raven.
make Battlefield. It's just, Battlefield has been chasing Call of Duty for so long. Just trying to get those same numbers as Call of Duty. And it's just, you're not him. You're not him, Battlefield.
You're not him.
You're not him. You're not that guy.
Did you see that report this week that Vanguard, supposedly one of the worst Call of Duty, even though I think Vanguard's fine, one of the worst Call of Duties in recent memory, still sold like 20 million copies?
Yeah. Wasn't it 30? I think it just hit 30.
It was 20.
Oh, was it 20? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
but
still,
20 million copies for Vanguard.
Yeah, for a game people don't like, it's just, you're not him, Battlefield. You're not that guy.
You're not him.
Yeah. And Battlefields are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to shit on Battlefields.
Let it be what you are.
Yeah.
Don't chase.
Let it be its own thing. You don't need to make yearly Battlefield games and have all your studios on Battlefield. You just don't. Titanfall, you do.
But I say though, as I trust Vince, whatever he has planned with Battlefield maybe could be good. But I trust Vince. But Vince usually doesn't miss. I don't know if he ever has, to be honest. So I don't know. I trust what his vision for Battlefield could be.
I am very much with you on that. That Vincent Pella, if you were gonna bring a guy in to try to make Battlefield like Call of Duty or in that same vein and get those same type of numbers, that would be the guy to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what they do though? Do you think they go way more cinematic with stories? Because that's not what Battlefield really has ever done. Bad Company might be the biggest stuff, right?
No, I still think it's gonna be. I think the campaign could be very good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that's going to be the main. That's not going to be the star of the show there. I think it is going to be the multiplayer still.
Yeah. I guess it has to be that, but I was just wondering if you think they'll lean into bombastic action movie stuff as well.
I would hope for my sake, right? Maybe yours too. Like that's what I want. That's the only thing I'm interested in from Battlefield is playing a good single player game, right? Or a good single player campaign through that. I'm not really too interested in having a Battlefield multiplayer game. I probably just wouldn't even touch it. But yeah, if they could make a good single player thing, I would definitely go out and buy it day one. I love the Battlefield 1 campaign. That was awesome.
I need to play that one. Yeah,
it was great. I really enjoyed that, and it was like 6 hours. It's like, if you want to make a bunch of those, that's fine. I don't know, because you're right, Vincent Pella. I guess his specialty is a little bit on the single player side. Not really though. When you think of like Titanfall 1, 2, and stuff like that, he does both very well. So. Yeah, I don't know. That's a very interesting thing. I'm curious because this just says Battlefield Project. So how many Battlefield games are being made here exactly? Seems like a bunch of studios.
DICE has like 2 themselves, right?
So maybe one of them is very single player focused. Maybe...
Wasn't that what Leto was doing, right? Marcus Leto before he left.
Yeah.
Weren't they making a single player?
That's a whole nother thing, right? It's like there's been a lot of trouble going on with these Battlefield games as well. Multiple big producers left. There was another guy that was big there too that also left. So. Yeah, I don't know, man. It seems like it's in a little bit of trouble right now. Insider Gaming, by the way, is reporting that the next one is scheduled for fall 2025. At least that's what they've heard in this article. So we should see it around then. If a
couple years in between games, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, unless it ends up getting delayed or whatever. But yeah, so I'm curious which one, because there's like Ripple Effect and there's DICE LA, and it seems like both of them are working on Battlefield games. Is that the same game?
Well, I think Ripple Effect is DICE LA.
Is it not? Oh, that got renamed to that?
The other one is DICE wherever. They're in Europe.
in Europe somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense then.
And then I think Ridgeline was the one that got closed. That was the Marcus Leto one. Then Motive is helping. Motive
Like
seems to
pulling
be
in
just the
motive.
support team.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
because they shut down the whole that whole ridge line, right? So
yes,
that's all closed. So I guess EA Motive's kind of picking up whatever they were working with
maybe.
or on. Yeah. I don't know. Interesting to see. Yeah, I'll be definitely very curious to see gameplay of this and stuff like that. I mean, there was a point where Battlefield was very big. You know, it's like, especially like 2013,
Battlefield
2014
4.
ish. Yeah, right around there, it was kind of peaking, and like a lot of people were playing that. So
Yeah.
I guess they just kind of want to get back to that, but we will have to see. I'm surprised there's no, well, I guess we did do a story on this actually, is the Battle Royale part of Battlefield, where they're kind of copying Warzone a little bit and taking that. I feel like that suits Battlefield very well,
Oh yeah, I
actually.
think it suits Battlefield more than Call of Duty with all the
Definitely.
destruction and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Vehicles and
awesome.
stuff. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
the
kind of
vehicles.
what it was. I know it was more team based, but,
Hmm.
you know, I guess, I mean, there's teams though in these battle royales too, right? So,
I mean, yeah, I mean Warzone has like twos, threes, and fours.
yeah.
So yeah, like it is a team-based battle royale.
Yeah.
Just I
I
mean
could see
Fortnite
the
is too.
royale being huge, you know?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Especially if they can get it and they can get like a free-to-play version too. Like
Yeah.
imagine Battlefield having a free-to-play version with
Yeah.
like could even have because like Warzone just recently did their mobile version of
Hmm.
Warzone. So they have Call of Duty mobile and Warzone mobile.
Yeah.
Like what if Battlefield you might need
Get
to tap into
Battlefield
that.
mobile. Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Especially nowadays, you're going to need it.
Yeah.
Start making them mobile versions. It's interesting because then EA will then have two with Apex Legends and that.
Yeah, true.
Like, damn, EA greedy.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They definitely are. All right. We got two more news stories. Next one. The Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake has gotten completely overhauled since last time we've seen it. Back in 2022, the game got moved to Ubisoft Montreal and is now being completely remade from the ground up. Insider Gaming claims the game's still probably years away, though.
And no Yuri Lowenthal voicing
No,
the
Yuri.
prince.
Yuri's no longer the prince.
Come on, what are you doing? This is a wild story. This game was supposed to be out like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, it looked so much like a remaster in the
Mhm.
in more than less than a remake back when we first saw that trailer forever ago. And it was being made by what was it, like Ubisoft India or some shit?
Yeah,
Something
it
like
was
that.
a different Ubisoft team for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So it seemed like it was just like a smaller team, just kind of touching it up, making remaster stuff. But I guess people didn't like that enough, and Ubisoft pulled the plug on that, and they gave it to Ubisoft Montreal, and now it's being completely remade from the ground up.
Yeah, yeah. This is what it needed. And like Ubisoft, to their credit, they don't do remasters and all that. Like
Yeah, not yet, right?
this was supposed to be their first one, right? So
Yeah.
like I think they're like, oh, we do need to put the money and take the time. So I hopefully that's good because like I've always wanted to play the Prince of Persia series. Lost Crown this year is the first one I've really played.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
my
I've
thing
never
is
touched one actually.
I would like all of them at least playable.
Hmm.
Like I would a remake of this makes a lot of sense, but like give me that one playable. There's the sequel. I forget the name of the sequel. Then there's the 2008 one, and then there's the one based on the movie. The movie based one's actually supposed to be pretty good too. So they're like, give me access to all four of those Prince of Persia games just on modern stuff. Like, port them, and then if you want to like do remasters and remakes, you could do that too. I would also just like the original.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Make like a collection pack of all the
A
original
collection pack,
ones.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have them all come out on current gen. That way they're at least all playable, and then you can still remake them on the side. That makes sense
Because
to
they're
me too.
clearly trying to bring the series back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that they don't really do a lot of remakes and remasters. You're kind of right. I mean, there was like the Ezio collection and stuff like that they did.
That might
But
be the closest thing, yeah.
yeah, but now they actually are. There's three in development that we know of, right? There's this, the Splinter Cell remake, and then Assassin's Creed Black Flag also getting remade. So they're definitely delving into
They're
their
tapping
backlog
in.
here. Yeah, so those will all be interesting to see. Yeah, I'd be definitely interested in play this game. I mean, this is kind of where Assassin's Creed comes from, right? And so I never actually get a chance to play Sands of Time before, and yeah, it's supposed to be one of the greats, right? So why not
Yeah,
remake it
yeah,
fully?
it's a beloved game.
Yeah, have some fun parkour elements in there and stuff like that. Bring it up to modern date. I'll play
Hardcore
it.
parkour.
Parkour. Our last news story then. Triple I had a showcase. Triple I The Initiative, I believe is their full name, right? Or the full name of the showcase. So what's
Yeah, I
going on here?
think
We were talking about this before the show. They're not a publisher. Like,
no.
okay, then what
This is
is?
like an amalgamation of
It's just a bunch of
companies.
little indies coming together and
Yeah.
being like, hey, let's put on a showcase. Okay, okay. Well, at this showcase, the things that are announced, at least the big things, were Slay the Spire 2, the Rogue Prince of Persia game, which is we talked about last week, was officially
There's like
announced, and
leaks. Yeah.
yeah, now it's coming into early access sometime this month. And then we got some more Vampire Survivor DLC announced here as well.
There's a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, Daniel, I know you're
Um,
particularly excited about Slay the Spire 2.
oh my god. I almost did a backflip when I saw that. You kidding me? Slay the Spire 2,
You
one of
want
my
to try
favorite
one right
games.
now?
Ugh. Ah, ah,
Not enough,
I can't.
no energy. Okay, okay.
I don't think I could do that. I could do a cartwheel or something. Yeah, I love Slay the Spire 1 so much. They don't This is only a teaser and it's only going into early access next year, so we might not really get like I think it's only going to be on Steam early access, so like I'm not probably going to play that until maybe the end of 2025, maybe early 2026 when it comes to consoles. So, it's going to be a while, but I'm very excited. I love Slay the Spire so much. It's such an awesome game, especially roguelites getting so popular. Um like it's my favorite roguelite, other than maybe Hades, but it's a little different. They hinted a little things in there. I haven't really checked out the Steam page to see if there is much like information there. But they hint at like two of the character classes returning. But then there's like a third one that isn't brand new. The original game had three, and then they added a DLC one. Um, So they're at least bringing two of the original ones back, and then a brand new one. I don't know about any of the other two. Um, but yeah, I just hope it's just more and better. That's all I want. More of the game and just make it better.
Cool. Yeah, one of those games you never thought would like get a sequel, probably.
It
Right?
doesn't need one
Yeah,
because Slay Spire is perfect.
yeah.
But like they want to add new classes and revamp a new story or make it better, new visuals, more cards, stuff like that. Like, sure, give me a sequel. Like, I don't think there's any way it could be bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
This Rogue of Persia game, then I actually really like the art style of it. I thought
yeah, it
the
looked
art
cool.
style looked really cool. So it's a really smart idea of Ubisoft to go out and get a good indie team with a good track record to make a Prince of Persia game like that, right?
This is the excuse me. This is the Dead Cells developer.
Yeah.
Which I need to play more Dead Cells. That's a game I not really played that much of, and I know I would really like it.
Cool. Vampire Survivors DLC too.
Yeah,
Both popping
Contra.
into that.
You
Yeah.
see the two
Oh,
Contra
is that
guys?
really? Wow,
It's
I didn't notice
Contra,
that.
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
It's
Cool
like two of
collab
the
there.
because they're like characters and each have like abilities,
Yeah.
right? Like that's how the game's set up.
Yeah.
I don't know what the two Contra guys or abilities are, but it's like they have like guns. So like there's already guns in the game. There's like two pistols you can get.
Yeah.
But
They
yeah,
just got
there's
fucking machine guns.
machine guns just mowing bats
fun.
and skeletons
Yeah.
down.
I haven't played that game in a while. I still
Yeah.
have it downloaded. Was that last year? That was the year before, right?
It was 2022, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That was a fun game.
Yeah, there was a lot in this AAA showcase. It was a good showcase. It was just trailers. If you like indies, I would say check it out. Like Kill Knight was pretty a standout. Kind of looked like a Hades kind of game. Undermine 2 got announced. I know people really loved that first Undermine, which was another kind of roguelite top-down action game with cute art style. There's a lot there. Go check it out. But Slay the Spire, Darkest Dungeon 2. Oh, I forgot. Darkest Dungeon 2 is getting DLC, which I still want to play Darkest Dungeon 2. It's not on console though.
Yeah.
I was hoping this would be their console announcement, but
That's incredible. That game's not on consoles yet.
not yet. No.
Interesting. All right.
It came out to the end of last year, official, but yeah.
Well, we will now move on to what we've been playing. Daniel, what have you been playing?
Not as much as I did last week, but played a decent amount of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I think I'm about 15 hours into the game now. And I just got to Costa de... Is it Costa del Sol or Costa del Sol?
I think it's Dell.
Costa del Sol?
Yeah.
Okay. That's where I'm at. Just got there. Yeah, it's what a great game. It's I still don't fully know if the open world was necessary, and I'm kind of thinking about like these big open sections and like, do we really need it? Because a lot of my favorite parts of the game are just kind of the linear sections, anyways, the more story based sections. So yeah, I'm curious where I'm going to land on the open world parts by the end of the game, and kind of seeing the new couple more new areas we go to. But like I'm thinking like, yeah, I kind of wish the remake style was how Rebirth was,
Sure.
and not be open world. But
Yeah.
I feel like maybe people would have been more upset if it didn't go open,
Yeah. They're in a
because
rock and a hard place, right? Because
they're in a rock and a hard place.
the
Yeah.
original game is open world, so it's like, yeah, it was almost impossible for them not to make an open world.
Yeah, they wanted to stay true to the game, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's better when it's linear. Personally,
Sure.
I don't know. Like I'm not like, I'm also not doing a ton of open world stuff yet, but I'm not like that impressed with the open world.
Sure.
Like maybe I need to experience it more to say that, but it doesn't draw me. You know, like I think Elden Ring drew me in all these different ways in its open world. Like maybe that's hard to compare Elden Ring, or even like Tears of the Kingdom last year. It drew me in all these ways in its open world. I
I'm
don't
curious,
know.
what do you think it is about those games that drew you to do the open world aspects of those more so than something like this?
Yeah, I don't know, because like what draws me with this game is the combat, so I want to fight things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like these characters in the combat,
Yeah.
and I just don't think it's just not drawing me. I
Sure.
have no idea. I really don't know. You want to crack my head open and figure it out for me?
Yeah, no, yeah, I would. Yeah, I guess for me it's because with Elden Ring and Tears of the Kingdom, right? It's very, you almost can't tell what is the open world aspects of it, and what is side content, and what is the main stuff, right? In those type of games, and with this game, it's very, in this game and other games like it, it's very, here's side quests, here's the towers, here's all the other shit you could go do, and then here's the main story. With Elden Ring, there was many times where I'm walking around and I'm like, I have no idea if I'm doing the main thing right now, if I'm
Yeah,
going on the golden path, or if I'm just on side shit.
yeah. Yeah, they kind of let you explore to your own pace, right?
Yeah.
I think Tears of the Kingdom is that as well. Like you just go run that way, you'll find shrines and dungeons and and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I am still pretty early in the game. Like I have only a fraction of your time. Um, like once I can go back and start going back and forth through these open worlds, like I'll start trying to do maybe more of these side quests and see if they actually like change my mind. But
Sure.
yeah, right now I'm thinking I wish the game was more linear.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that.
And yeah, I am playing as much Queen's Blood as I can, trying to get better at Queen's Blood. Just did the tournament on the boat, which was really really cool. I like that you get to choose what person you get to fight.
Yeah.
Did you go and fight the other one after?
You kind of couldn't, because they kind of like, when you beat one in the tournament, they kind of move you on to the next one.
Okay, so I couldn't go and like fight
Yeah, you couldn't, when
the
you
other
when you were
person.
picking whoever you could pick at that moment, right? It was like it would move you on to the next round. So you kind of just had to. So whoever
Yeah.
you go and play next, then the next round will continue.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I wasn't too sure if I could actually have fought them or not.
yeah.
Okay. My only like gripe with like that tournament compared to like other fights you've done in like the open sections was like each battle you weren't getting a new card. I thought that was odd because like every other battle you'd get a new card as a reward, but like for the tournament you weren't able to like get rewards.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't even notice that at that point.
Like I just wish there were, maybe I just need to go out in the world and try to get more cards, because like I just want more cards so I can like play with
Pretty much every
making
shop
decks.
they sell like two or three, and so I would
Yeah.
just buy those because they're super cheap anyways. And then yeah, you'll win one after everyone you battle in the open world.
Yeah, I need to go back to Com because I'm sure there was cards in Com I could buy that I didn't buy. And then there's like a card shop in the grasslands or something that it wasn't open.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know when that opens up. Um, but I want to go back and see like if I could buy cards from there. Um, yeah, I just want more cards to play around with. I'm such a card game person. Like I like to have options, and then I can, like, making a deck is like some of my favorite parts of card games. Like Slay the Spire is not really. I would not necessarily call it a card game. I would call that game a deck-based game, which sounds the same, but it's not. Like, it's not a game about like you're not playing against an opponent with cards in Slay the Spire, right? Like your cards are just your moves. So it's like it's about like building a deck. But like this type of game, or like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon, like you're making a deck and then like battling them. So these
Sure.
type of card games, I like making a deck. Like that's like some of my favorite things to do. Like
Yeah.
I play a lot of Magic the Gathering, or have played a lot of Magic the Gathering. And my favorite part of Magic is like finding a card mechanic and then like, oh, how can I make a deck around this card or
Mm.
like this idea? So me more cards that I can like do more with. And maybe they just didn't expect Queen's Blood to get popular, or I also don't know. Maybe there's a ton of cards.
Yeah, I seriously doubt it's like as in depth as those games, right? But yeah, I suppose when you get more towards the end and you have a ton of cards, you could do what you're kind of describing there and make a whole deck around that vein. I never even made like multiple decks though. I kind of
No, I
just
only have one deck right
yeah,
now.
I kind of
I don't
just
have enough
stuck to the
cards.
one. Yeah, exactly. I kind of just stuck with the one, and then I just like traded in new cards that I wanted in and out with other cards that were already in my deck.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have enough cards to really do. I probably do have enough to do like a couple decks, but one of the decks would just be like a basic nothingness, and then whatever. But yeah, I want more cards, access to more cards. But yeah, definitely gonna play some more tonight.
Cool, cool. That all you've been playing?
Yeah, I don't think I've played anything else this week.
Cool. I have now beaten Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Finally. Jesus Christ.
Yay!
110 hours. 110.
110
110
hours.
hours to beat it. Crazy. Crazy. I was not expecting this game to be that long. Um. Okay, so the ending, without spoiling things.
Mm-hmm.
I like the ending. I like the direction it goes. It answers questions and then also just gives you way more questions.
Of
One
course.
of those. Yeah, of course, right? Leading into the third game. Definitely hypes you up for the third game. I'll say that. Like I was definitely like, give me the third game now as soon as the credits start rolling. I need it. I need it now. God damn it. Uh, there is an aspect of it I don't like. I won't spoil it, but it's just, and it's almost not even the game's fault. The aspect I don't like. So very interesting. Maybe me and you could talk spoilers when
Interesting.
you beat it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll talk
definitely will.
spoilers. Yeah, we'll talk spoilers when you beat it, and then I can get into all that. But I do like the ending overall. I thought it was
Okay.
really fun. There's some crazy moments at the end of this game. There's just some
I'm ready
insane.
for it.
The last boss fight is just absolutely mind blowing. I'm like, what is going on? It's just crazy. So many hype moments, and then just like, what the fuck is that? And yeah, it's just once you beat it, we'll definitely delve in and talk spoilers because it's very fun and it'll be very fun to talk about. And yeah, man, I love the game overall. It's obviously the combat is just fucking fantastic. Just minor improvements from the last game, and I just love this combat style. I want it in all my Square
Every
games. Give
game.
me give me a Kingdom Hearts game with this combat style. Give
Mm-hmm.
me it. That'll
Of
be
course.
oh man, that's like my dream. Give me that. That would be
Yeah.
so fun. Yeah, I like the open world overall. I think there's a lot of things in the open world that are unnecessary and just don't feel inspired or creative at all. The towers, right? I know
Yeah.
I've talked about this before, but like the towers are just so uncreative and so uninspired when everything else in the game feels so charming and
Mm-hmm.
so Square Enix and
It's very
Japanese has that Japanese
light and
flair to
fun.
it. Yeah, very fun, and then the towers and some other things like that, like those weird summon things that you can do, and all the other kind of Western influenced open world game stuff that just kind of feels shoehorned in there. That stuff doesn't, but like the side quests I love, they're also character driven and very fun, and I love all the wacky stories that are going on in there and some other things in the open world I really felt. I love how like full of life the game feels as well. Like the towns are very full of life and NPCs walking around and stuff. And even in the open world sections, you always see those bunnies running around. The little chocobo that runs up to you and you pull up the post sign. That's so fun. And the bird and shit. Like I love all that shit. And they I really love and appreciate how they tried to differentiate the sections in the open world, and make them feel different to explore. And even that even holds back the game in some areas, right? Like I talked about Gingaga a couple of weeks ago. I hated that fucking area. I hated exploring that.
Yeah.
But then there's other ones that I love. So like that didn't come without its faults, right? Making the areas feel different. But I do appreciate that they did that. I'm trying to think. I got notes, so I got.
Oh, give me them notes.
Oh, I got so look at this shit, you know.
Oh,
Fucking
what?
notes, bro.
You're scrolling.
Yeah, I mean, I think my favorite part, I've said it before, I've probably said it like 4 times now, but it's just seeing them all come together and interact with each other and feel like a family, you know.
The character moments, yeah.
The character moments, you know, and that was the hardest part for them probably making this game, is because it is the middle section of Final Fantasy VII, right? It is that we're taking a step back from the main story for a while, from like the overall plot with what's going on with Sephiroth and Shinra and stuff. They do take a step back from that in the original FF7, and they kind of just have to go with the flow of that for a long time in this game. And it's really not until the back half, you know, what this 2 would be on the original FF7, where you really delve into the Shinra stuff and the Sephiroth stuff and stuff like that. And that you don't get in this entire game at all. So this was always going to be the hardest story for them to tell. And I think what probably, besides the character moments, what probably impresses me the most is how they were able to elevate all the character moments throughout this game. The Barrett backstory stuff, the Red backstory stuff, you know, stuff with how Yuffie was introduced, how Vincent's introduced, how Cid's introduced. They're able to get all those moments in there, recreate the same thing that they did in the original FF7, and then also elevate it at the same time. And I think that was a really tough thing for them to tackle, and I think they knocked that out of the park.
Yeah, that's been the best part of the game so far, is like it's just watching these characters interact with each other. Like watching Tifa and Aerith's like friendship, and you know, like they're the only girls in the party, at least right now for me.
Yeah.
They're like the only girls in the party, so they're like they're very happy and go lucky with each other, and like they have a really good friendship. And then it always seems like Barrett's always like teasing Red about being a dog or whatever.
I love when everyone calls him a dog.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, it's a cute dog.
Yeah. Barrett just said like he could shave him because he's so hot or
Yeah.
whatever. He's melting. He's like, I can shave you.
And I think like all those moments just make the more emotional moments when you get there just way more impactful, you know, than it even felt in the original FF7, because they don't feel like a team. They all feel like they're doing this separate thing in the original FF7, having just played that. And now they like really feel like a team, and like you really, when stuff gets emotional with Barrett and Red and stuff like that, you really see everyone else's reaction to that, and like it feels more emotional for you as the player, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to get more of the moments. Yeah. That's definitely my favorite part.
Yeah, and then I don't want to spoil anything, but there's like a way kind of towards the end where like the world kind of becomes a different way to explore it, and it's like a little, it's very fun. Again, we'll talk spoilers when you beat it. Let's see. Do I have any more cons? Like I don't. Yeah, like I said, there is a problem with the ending that I have. The open world elements definitely. Some of the main plot sometimes feels a little directionless, if that's a word, right? Directionalist, yeah, that's a word. Sometimes it just feels a little bit like Sephiroth's the bad guy. We gotta go get him, you know. And sometimes
it seems to be the only plot point, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's especially where you are right now, you know. Like sometimes it's just like, what are we doing exactly? Like, where are we going? How do you guys even know where to go? You know, like and that's kind of and that is how the original FF7 feels. So like, I think they could have used, what's it called, with like like a MacGuffin, right? Where like yeah, with like the shining star that they're all going to.
Sephiroth has this item.
Yeah,
we need to get that item.
Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah, it could have used something like that for a little while, because sometimes it really did just feel like, what are you guys doing in this main story exactly? Like, how do you even know where Sephiroth is or anything?
He's going after
him. It's really just like, Sephiroth's bad, let's go get him, you know, for like a long time in the story. So it does kind of feel aimless at some points, but
yeah, they have hints at a few things.
Yeah,
like Wu Tai and Rufus. Yeah, but like right now there's not a lot. I'm just like, Cloud wants to go after Sephiroth. They're all kind of staying together and they're kind of following.
And it really is just a lot of like cute character moments for a long time throughout the main story, like the cruise ship and Casa del Sol and stuff like that. And like you're getting hints of like Shinra stuff going on in the background, like the you know, they'll do the flash. I guess they're not flashbacks, but like the current stuff with like Shinra executives talking in that office. There's like a bunch of those type of cutscenes, and so you kind of just get hints. And like I think that's where they struggled a little bit with this part of the story of the original FF7.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
I definitely could see that by where you are, where you were, and you beat it and stuff. I can see by the end of the game, like
I definitely think that problem fixes itself in the later chapters. You'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, for a little while there, it did feel a little directionless. But yeah, overall, man, I'm putting the game down for now. I'm not gonna platinum it right now. This will be one of those I go back to over the years and I will get the platinum eventually. We'll put it in the backlog. And I will eventually get the platinum. It's a tough platinum, but I will eventually get it.
It's tough. It's just time consuming.
Time consuming and a lot of stuff to do. Apparently, there's Chadley boss fights that you unlock way later, and those are apparently very hard. Apparently, they're harder than the hard mode of the game, which you also have to do to get the trophy or to get the platinum. So apparently,
do you keep a save that's not hard mode?
Basically, yeah, I didn't even start the hard mode save yet. I mean, my plan will just be do everything in the first playthrough and then have only the hard mode trophy left and then go beat it in hard mode at some point. Probably before the third one comes out, I'll replay it in hard mode or whatever and get the platinum right there. Yeah, I mean, but you gotta think that's probably like, that's another thing I'm very curious about is how quickly do they get this third one out?
Another 4 years?
3 years? It could be 3. It could be 3 because the rest of FF7, the story is a lot of going back to these areas. So they could just use that map. There are new areas, don't get me wrong. And actually, Tetsuya Nomura did an interview where he said they plan on making Wutai, which is just a side area that you can go to in FF7. They plan on making that like a whole country, he said. So it's like, okay, that's going to be very cool. That'll be very fun to see. And that'll be like a different atmosphere too that you can go to and stuff like that. There are a few other areas that are left out of this game, don't get me wrong. But for a lot of it, you'll just be able to reuse that same map. And it's funny, you can see it too, man, of like how this map is gonna all be like put together. Because I mean, you probably know in original FF7 you eventually get the high wind, so you can fly around and stuff. Yeah, so it's like eventually you're gonna be able to fly around this whole fucking thing, and that's gonna be really cool.
I wonder how that's gonna work.
Yeah, that's gonna be quite mind blowing in the third one. I can't wait for the third one now.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I need to get through this game.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are throwing out the 30th anniversary for FF7 would be a good date. It's like February 2027 would be the 30th anniversary. So maybe they could hit that.
Yeah, 3 years. That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, but then where does a mainline Final Fantasy go in there, and where does Kingdom Hearts go in there?
Well. So Tetsuya Nomura directing Kingdom Hearts 4 and the final chapter of the trilogy, right? He has done this before though. So Kingdom Hearts 3 came out in 2019, remake came out in 2020. So I mean, he directed both of those, right? So he has done that before.
Miyazaki over here.
So I mean, yeah, he has done it before. I wouldn't put it past them to be maybe Kingdom Hearts 4 is 2026, and then that's 2027. I could see it.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too shocked. So I'll be curious to see what the name is.
Well, I feel like they could have used Reunion, but they used it for
in Crisis Core. Yeah, especially with how many times people say Reunion in that damn game.
I know.
You definitely
I feel like that should have been the name.
Yeah,
but what other name can they use? Yeah, I don't.
I've seen Return throw around. That maybe
Returns.
Yeah, Returns. Yeah, a little boring.
I don't like that as much.
Yeah, I don't either. So I don't know.
Rebirth is a good name. So
Rebirth is good. Yeah, I don't know. Be tough. But we'll see. It's gonna have to start with RE. Do Redemption. Let's go.
Redemption.
Final Fantasy VII Redemption.
That's good. That's good.
That's what I want. So yeah, love the game, man. 110 hours. I gotta put it down now. It's just been too long. It's too many hours.
You know what you're going to play in between?
So I started Hades, and I actually, I actually been quite enjoying it, Daniel. I got to the first boss. Her name was like Meg, I think.
Megara.
That was it, Mag. Yeah. Maybe you called her something.
She's
like
one
that.
of the whatever they call them. There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Can I say something about that fight? Actually.
Yeah, sure.
It's random. So it's not always Megara.
Okay. Oh, so you get like a different boss in there.
You'll get. There's 3 of them, so you'll get one of them.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I've only played like I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. So, but yeah, I definitely like the combat actually. So,
it only expands the more you play too.
Story's cool too, like it's cool the way they do that. It's going back and talking to Hades, and he's just instigating you the whole time. It's just very
talk to
funny.
Everyone.
Yeah, keep talking to everyone. Okay, yeah, because I've been talking to Achilles. I've been talking to I think her name is Nyx. So I've been doing all that. So like the upgrades you get in the mirror. Those are the ones that you
Those are
keep,
permanent.
right?
Yeah.
Those are permanent. Okay. And then all the upgrades you get in the open area, whatever, those go away every time you die.
Yeah, when you're on a run, like the god upgrades and your health upgrades, stuff like that,
Yeah.
it goes away. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Cool.
like that. I think it's like a purple material you can get.
Yeah.
That, and then you can use in the mirror. That is like a permanent thing. So if you see that on a run, and you go looking for that, just know that's like a permanent upgrade material.
Okay, so try to get those. Is there like one I should specifically be going for? Because they always give you the choice between the two doors.
It kind of depends
Is
on
there,
what
like
you
one
need.
you would recommend? Okay, kind of what you need.
Like if you want to start upgrading a lot of the mirror and getting permanent upgrades, go after that purple material.
Yeah, because I feel like those would kind of get you the farthest and make you able to progress the story more and more.
There's one that gives you like an extra death.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
I got one that like if I get hit to the point I die, I get 50% of my health back.
That is
whatever.
What it is. Yeah,
That's what it is. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I did.
There's you can get a couple of those. There's a few ways to get it.
Cool. Yeah. Any? I know. Are there only those 4 weapons in that?
There's
in that
I think
room?
6 weapons.
Oh, there's 6. I wonder if like 2 more open up. There's
like
only
bow,
4 available
a sword, a spear, a shield, a gun, and the gauntlets.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the gun and gauntlets. I wonder if those like open up later or something. If you unlock that or something. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, more gets unlocked in the whole area as you go.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Like that's what makes it cool. Like storytelling is like you get more, and like Hades will say more. Or all these characters will say more the more you go. And
how long does this end up being then?
The official ending you have to beat it 10 times.
Oh,
you
really?
could beat Hades 10 times to get like the final ending, but like you could beat Hades once. It's really just how quick can you break the game and get to the end. You could do it right now.
Oh, really? You could be that good right now. Okay, interesting. Yeah.
It's just about what boons you
definitely
get.
I get to like my, I think I got to like 15 was my highest number of rooms that I got to or whatever thus far because it like shows you in that little area. So yeah, I definitely start having trouble when I get past like 10.
I think there's 4 areas.
Interesting. Okay.
And you kind of have to do it all in one go.
Cool. Real quick, I played a little bit of that Botany Manor game. I don't know if you heard of this. Yeah, on Game Pass.
I've seen it on Game Pass. I don't know what it
is. It's a puzzle game, but like you're kind of like growing these different plants, and you kind of got to figure out how exactly to grow these different plants. I only played it for like 30 minutes. It was cool initially, but then they started like giving me multiple plants at the same time, and I was just too tired to fuck with it at that point. I was just like, all right, this is too much right now. So I'm gonna try it again this weekend and see how much I like it. Got good reviews, so I don't know. I like my puzzle games too. So also, I saw you post that Children of the Sun game in
that game looks
Discord.
Cool.
That game looks fucking awesome. It's not on console though. I know. You motherfuckers.
Hopefully by the end of the year, I'm gonna keep my eye on that. If it does get a console, I want to play that game.
Yeah, I thought that game looked awesome. So
didn't it? That's what when I saw that, I was like, look at that review, and I'm like, whoa, this game looks awesome.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, that looks fucking cool as hell. I think Barrett was talking about it on Kind of Funny. He beat it and he loved it. So I definitely want to check that out.
Love the idea of that game.
Me too.
Kind of have like a super hot type game. I like super hot a lot.
Yeah. Anyways, that's gonna do it for the Nerdic Gods podcast episode 218. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us over at youtube.com/Nerdic Gods. Find us available on all audio platforms. Daniel, anything else you'd like to say?
Down with Shinra.
Down with Shinra. Down with Shinra indeed. Like you're down with them or down with them?
Down with them.
I'm both. I'm down with Scarlet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bye,
bye everybody.